Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Principal's Office. Yes, the Principal's Office. That is the new name for this weekly leadership success tip that will help you lead like a champion. It would ignite the champion leader that is in you. Now, this is specifically for aspiring school leaders, new school leaders, as well as anyone interested in school leadership. And you could be a traditional or have been in a position for a long time and just want to join, and that's okay too. And so that's what this particular time is for every week. Now, what I will do is I would do something separate for my friends who are in business leadership and those who are edupreneurs, those who are leading businesses that present information and cater to the learning of schools and students. All right, but just back into the content really quick. So today I wanted to talk about how school leadership has changed, because we all know school leadership has changed. It is totally different, not simply because of the pandemic, but simply because things have evolved. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've watched the evolution of school leadership for a long time. I remember when I was in school, the principal was a disciplinarian. You didn't want to get sent to the principal's office because it automatically meant you did something wrong and were in trouble. And in high school, I barely saw my principals. I had a different principal for each grade level, the way the high school was set up that I attended, and I barely saw them, except during times when something was wrong, or every now and then at a sporting event or an assembly. But now principalship has really changed since then. Principals have to be more visible. They have to be the face of the school, but they also have to be the face in the school. You have to be able to connect with students, and not when they're in trouble, but build rapport and relationship with them when they're doing the right thing, and encourage them to continue doing the right thing. You have to build relationship with teachers and those who you lead, because they have to see you every day, know you support them. Now you have to be the instructional leader, as well as the leader that helps them learn classroom management strategies. So you have to be in those meetings talking about data and helping them learn the instructional strategies and master them and see what's working, what's not. You have to help them. You have to talk about not just the academic data, but the behavioral data, what's working, what's not, what needs to be put in place as an intervention or accommodation to help the students learn and grow that they serve. And so now you have to do all of these things as an instructional leader, because it has evolved from a person sitting in the office dealing with discipline and talking to parents to someone who is actively involved in the instruction, the day-to-day instruction. And so it has shifted, and this was prior to COVID. Now, because of the pandemic, things are shifting again. Because I believe, and I've been saying this for a long time, as a school leader, you have to know how to lead. You have to know how to connect with people. You have to know how to influence them, how to be emotionally aware of their needs, while simultaneously ensuring that they accomplish objectives. Because you cannot afford to allow a teacher to continue teaching in a way that's not productive and doesn't meet the needs of students. So that's how school leadership has shifted. Now, here's the thing. How have you shifted with it? Because in your preparation or in your role as a school leader, how have you shifted? A lot of people really hammer on the instruction because that's where they're strong. A lot of new administrators hammer on the culture and the discipline aspect because that's where they're strong. But what are you doing to learn and to increase your capacity, one, in instructional leadership, in cultural leadership, but also in leadership, period? Because how can you help set the tone for the culture, set the tone for instruction, if you can't get people to follow you? Or if you don't know how to handle it when people exercise their right to not follow you, even though you're their supervisor, which then they only look at you from a standpoint of the position. And they have to when they know that they can't get away with it. So you have to shift. As school leaders, we have to shift. We have to know leadership. We have to be students of influence. We have to be students of how people think. We have to be students of how adults learn. We have to be students of being emotionally aware so that we can nurture and care for them while still ensuring that they provide the best instruction possible and put strategy and processes, procedures in place. So as a school leader in 2021-22 school year and beyond, you have to be a strategist, you have to be a people developer, you have to engage in personal growth, and you have to be able to put things in place. Not just the strategy, but the procedures that support the strategy. You have to have this 4-tier model if you want to be successful, caring for students and helping them get to where they need to be. Not thinking about learning loss, but strategizing on how to maximize the instructional moments you do have. Because you can't control what you can't control, but you can be proactive in the things that you have influence over. All right, so that's it for this week's Principal's Office Leadership Tip. How we talked about how things have shifted. I gave you some areas where I believe we as school leaders need to continue to shift. Tell me what your thoughts are. How do you think school leadership has shifted, and how do you see yourself as a school leader shifting in order to be ahead of the game, ahead of the curve, and not responsive? All right, so I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Now, feel free to join me on Clubhouse. Right after this live, you can join me on Clubhouse. My handle is at Jamal Maxim, and we can continue the discussion. And I want to hear your thoughts, so you can type them in here, but also join me on Clubhouse so I can talk to you, have a conversation live. All right, so I will see you next time. And remember, the Principles Accelerator, the enrollment for this course is still open. I'm still allowing people to enroll in the course. There are only 10 or so slots available, maybe 15. And so I want you to enroll because it will enhance your ability to lead. You will be able to lead and be ahead of the curve, ahead of the time, based upon what is needed from you and what is required from you versus sitting up under all the stress and pressure and not knowing what to do. So I want you to enroll. Go to jamalmaxim.org/Principles Accelerator info and enroll in the course, because we're going to start our classes soon. It's only 5 weeks out of your time, but it would change your life. So I want you to enroll in that course and check me out on Clubhouse. We're going to start the discussion right now. All right. Talk to you soon.